Remember they'd be like, or Justin would be blasting Idols. Like,
Dude,
so
I
loud.
love Idols,
I
dude.
love Idols.
Dude, that
I've
was
been
the best.
so into Idols.
That the From the Basement set was the first thing I ever watched, and then I watched the there's like the Audio Tree or whatever, or
Yeah.
the KEXP.
Yeah.
Fantastic performers, and they've gotten nothing but better over time.
There's that video of them, I forget what festival it was, but they're like doing Danny to Delco as like their closing one, and it's just like going so hard, and the singer like starts crying at the end.
That's
like,
awesome.
Dude, oh god, I love
You ever
Idols.
seen the Tiny Desk?
Yeah.
Where they just pull that dude, those people in, and they just like hit this now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny.
All right. Enough wheezing around over here. We're just prolonging this because
we don't really want to talk about
We already talked about the Black Album once.
And now we have to do it again.
And now we have to do it again.
It was like when we talked about Teal, and we're like, we only got to listen to it now, and then we don't ever have to again. We had to talk about Black once, now we got to talk about it again, and we're going to listen to it. It's going to be something.
Colin, what are we drinking today?
We're drinking a lovely little concoction. Better than last week.
It was black coffee, but then we ruined it, kind of like how Weezer ruined the Black Album.
That's right. We threw a little of this Irish cream liqueur in it from St. Brendan's. Yeah, it's very nice, very lovely. Drink responsibly if you're not of age.
Colin, I was expecting just, your pre-ground scoop of your drip brew and whatever, cheap coffee maker. Colin made me a nice pour over.
I've for a long time, when I lived in Milwaukee, that was my like obsession of the time I lived there, was because I wanted to be an espresso tech like repair person.
Oh yeah.
And then they didn't hire me to do that and train me on that, so I was like, okay, well I'll be a barista, and they didn't hire me to do that, and I was like, okay, well I'll work in the factory, and then they still didn't hire me to do that. Well, so I was like, fine, I'll just make it at home.
Well, it's a damn fine cup of coffee.
Hey,
that's a little Twin Peaks reference for you.
It's a damn fine cup of coffee, and you know what is a damn fine company right now?
All right. Look, we got like a couple hours, then we don't have to listen to the Black Album ever again.
Yep.
Should we just get into it?
Let's get rock and rolling.
So, a couple weeks ago, before the first one, you had thoughts on the Black Album, and then I feel like your thoughts kind of changed. Can you tell me where you're at now when it comes to the Black Album?
Right now, and I still feel the same way about the instrumentation as I used to. I think that the production on the Black Album is fine. I think that it sounds good if you're not paying attention to the lyrics. And I think, because traditionally, and I've said this before, I'm a composition person, I'm a music person, I'm not necessarily like digging into the lyrics all the time. Mm-hmm. But as we got ready to start listening to this, I started paying attention to some of those lyrics, especially like songs like the Prince He Wanted Everything, man. It's just, I feel like disappointing is like the word for it.
I'm the same way when it comes to lyrics, but I find that bad lyrics stick out to me more than good lyrics. Mm-hmm. Like, if a song has really good lyrics that has like a really good metaphor or something, like I don't usually pick up on it for a while, and then I'm like, oh my god, that's what he's saying. But if a song has really bad lyrics or just like really lazy lyrics, that tends to stick out to me. And that was when I first heard this one. The first thing in my mind was like, there was clearly no one who took the time to just be like, we could make this better if we sit down for a second and rewrite it,
Rewrite it or finish writing it. Like, there's so many, we were saying, like, so many oohs and ahs where it's like, there's a melody there, but no thought of like what the lyrics should have been. Yeah.
So yeah. This is Weezer's 13th studio album. It's the
Lucky
fourth
number
one.
13.
Lucky number 13. Fourth one with Crush Records. And as we talked about on the White Album episode, Jake Sinclair produced that album and really pushed for that throwback sound, which is part of why we love it so much. Mm-hmm. And then there was that quote from Rivers that was, well, Jake won on that one, but I'm going to win on the next one.
Which is like a hurtful thing to say. Did he win on the White Album, or did everybody win on the White Album?
Yeah, that's my thing. It's amazing. That we mentioned last time too, is winning, like, what is winning? Because if winning is you make a really good album, then everybody won. Absolutely. If winning is you make the album that you want to make, okay, but like, I get that, but shouldn't the album you want to make be the best album like that you can make?
Totally.
So that's a confusing a confusing thing, and I'd say this whole album is kind of confusing as to why it is the way it is. But came out in 2019 after the Teal album, about 2 months after Teal, not even, like 6 weeks after Teal. 2.08 currently on Rate Your Music, which I think
that's
is
high.
I think that's generous. Yeah.
I think that's high. I think 1.55 is a more reasonable.
1 out of 10 for me. It's got one song that I like. It's got one song that I think is pretty good, and the rest I can throw away in the trash.
You guys see the set?
Get it? Because this album is trash.
We were real proud when we were like hanging this up. We were like, this is gonna look so good.
No, I was not supposed to look at. See,
no,
the thing is,
it fits the vibe.
Here's the thing, Colin, is we had an idea, we had a concept, and then what did we do? We were lazy with it, and then we had to redo it, and then we were just lazy with it, and that's why it's not super great. It's almost like there's a Weezer album like that.
It's almost like there is an original Weezer album just like that.
I think this is my least favorite Weezer album.
This is my least favorite original Weezer album. Yeah, totally. I think, that's something we were kind of saying last week too, is that maybe this is something that should have been a side project.
I was listening on the way down here to it, and there's a lot of songs on this that I think had Rivers taken them and like shopped them to other artists and been like, hey, you should record this. Yeah. No, totally. I think it would have been better. And I know he's done that for some people, and he's like featured on, like songs with AJR and songs with all these other people. I think maybe some of these should have not been Weezer songs.
I could definitely see that, yeah.
Plus, thinking about like how frequently they've been putting out albums in this Crush Records era. Like, this was album 13, and it came out 4 years ago, and we're on album 20 now.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is like the album
unless
where...
you count seasons as EPs, that's the whole thing.
I mean, yeah. But this is also the album where like I think like the biggest divide of people being like Weezer used to be good or Weezer is good now, and then this album came out, and then just like Weezer's stock tanked.
I think it's the 1-2 punch of Africa and this, where Africa is like, okay, clearly it's a cash grab. Or like Teal, I mean. It's like, clearly it's a cash grab. Clearly they're desperate for attention. And it's like, okay, well, you've got our attention. What do you got? And then it's their worst album.
Yeah.
So it's like, any goodwill that I believe had been, caught by putting out Everything Will Be Alright in the End and White Album, I think immediately went down the tank. Especially when you've got, all the lyrics on Everything Will Be Alright in the End is like, hey guys, we realize like we were trying too hard to be something we're not, and now we're back and we're being Weezer again. And then you come out 3 albums later with Zombie Bastards.
Yeah,
it's
one of those tracks, a lot of things that like they were shooting to be funny or something like that, and it just missed like twice in a row. Yeah.
Well, let's get in the thick of it, because there's kind of an interesting story with how this one came to be. Actually,
let's talk about it.
So just a couple. So conceptually, right? So White Album comes out, and Rivers is already saying the next one is the Black Album. When when it's after this one, it's my turn. I'm doing the album I want to do. The concept was like a darker counterpoint to the White Album. Like, if the White Album is a day on the beach, this is nighttime, kind of a dingy city, urban environment, grittier, like samples, synths, gonna say some F words, maybe?
Right,
say some swear words, because we're adults and we can...
It's their 13th album, man. When you were 13, what kind of swear words were you saying? Crap.
Colin, what's your favorite swear word?
Ass.
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 We don't have to say one that I can put a censor over. Wait, what's the worst swear word you can think of right now?
I know, I can't. Zombie Bastard.
Zombie Bastard sounds like the name of a really, really horrible, not good IPA. That people
I guarantee you that
it's got quintuple whatever hops that makes your eyebrows fall off, and it's just not good.
But it's also like a smoothie IPA. It's like disgusting.
An oatmeal smoothie sour IPA, distilled in whiskey barrels for 10 years.
Okay, but let's talk about the drink we had last.
Oh my God! Okay, get it. We can probably get a picture of that and put it up.
It's looks like it was supposed to
tasted
be a
good.
shot.
Yeah.
It was like a peach schnapps, that Irish cream, and then we're like, how do we get this to be a drink? I'm like, oh, I'll get some Sprite. We'll be
Add some
fine.
more Sprite. That's a little piece of cake reference for you.
But man, it just curdled that thing and turned it into a giant brain booger.
So like the taste was delightful.
Yeah.
But like
I couldn't get past the look.
I was like having some tummy aches last week, and I'm like, I wonder if.
I'm sure.
I wonder if.
That was especially like once it like solidified. It was just a
dude,
layer on top.
It's like when you boil brats and beer, and you gotta take the scum off.
Little scumby, yeah.
Colin, you want to make some brats sometime?
Let's have a little brat cookout.
Bring some of your guys. Colin makes really good mustard.
I have a bunch of leftover mustard.
Me and Morgan, like every day at work, are talking about how good your mustard is. By the way,
you're sweetie. I don't know if I. Well, you guys are making me think of making. That was supposed to be the last batch I ever made.
No,
but now people be telling me it was a good batch. So
you gotta hit him with the old Gremlins 2, the new batch. We're getting off. I'm sorry. I'm getting off.
We're having fun. We gotta have fun with this one because just like it's painful.
It's bad. It's not
I'll
bad.
listen to the first half of this sometimes. Look, but just like once you get to that back half, man, it just takes a skydive.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, is it supposed to be this darker, edgier album, exploring new sounds? I get it. You're an artist. You want to be exploring new sounds. You want to be doing new things. I think they failed pretty catastrophically.
Yeah, they they hit it with the cool instrumentation. As I said, I like the synths. I like the sound of those. I think they did a good job with that. But it doesn't sound like a Weezer album.
Yep. And I think it's been done better on other Weezer. Like OK Human was a major step in a different direction.
Absolutely.
Seasons has some stuff that's like
really
nuts. Cool. Like some of the stuff on Seasons Autumn, the song Get Off on the Pain has like a John Carpenter synth breakdown thing in the middle of it that's like way cooler than anything on the Black Album.
Yeah.
So it's just sad, but also this was kind of in the era. This is the last album that Rivers did the spreadsheet songwriting on. And boy, does it show.
Yeah, it was, it kind of was coming to, it worked out so well for White, but man, it just, yeah.
I think he really was scraping the bottom of the barrel. Even on Pacific Daydream, some of that was questionable.
Yeah.
And on this one, it's like he's clearly filling space.
Mm-hmm.
And not even with the lyrics, but even some of the melodies, like some of the stuff that's clearly pasted in from other songs doesn't quite fit.
Could have used a fourth rewrite.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's get into the history of this. Like, I know we're trying to move away from doing the full timeline of these, but the Black Album, I think we need to talk about it.
I think this is a very interesting timeline.
So, as I mentioned, February 2016 on the Zane Lowe Show on Beats One, I think is the Apple radio station. It was the episode where like they're debuting LA Girls, right? That is where Rivers first mentioned the Black Album. And that was where he was like, okay, Jake won on this. Like, yeah, you all love this, but the Black Album's coming. It's going to be darker, grittier synths. It's going to be awesome. I think a lot of fans took that, like, darker as meaning, like, maybe something closer to Pinkerton.
Yeah.
Maybe something closer to, like, with synths, you're starting to think, like, maybe songs from the Black Hole, something like that.
Sure.
But, he did, to be fair to Rivers, the sound that he described is kind of what they have been going for throughout this whole thing with the Black Album. It's like synths, samples, whatever, a totally new thing. So anyways, they had been working on the Black Album already at that point. White Album was finished at some point in 2015.
Yeah.
Rivers started right away on the Black Album. First producer that was involved in that project was Jake Sinclair.
You know him, you love him.
You know him, you love him. That album got finished, or at least it finished to a point where they had something to present to Crush, and they canceled it because it was terrible. Like, genuinely bad. But, so here's my theory. The song I Love the USA, which was a White Album deluxe track, I think that this was meant for the original Black Album and not for the White Album. Because if you think about it, it's this piano-based song. It's got kind of these synths going on, and it's got kind of like the trap beat drums at times, and it's a totally kind of darker vibe. He says the F word in it.
Yep.
That's a big one. So I think that is our one taste we have of like what the original Black Album was.
Yeah, I can definitely see that because, like as I was like listening to like White Album Deluxe for the first time, like the whole album has like a very beachy feel, but
Yep.
like I Love the USA sounds nothing
Yeah,
like anything else on that album.
And it's interesting that it's just like thrown on there, but I feel like it's like, okay, we need one more bonus track. What do we have? And that one
Right,
was
yeah.
done. So I think that was maybe like their proof of concept thing for the Black Album, and they were like, just finish it and throw it on there.
It's an interesting song. I wouldn't say I love it, but
I
it's
really
a nice
love
song.
that song.
It's a nice song.
I actually love that. I
Yeah?
think it's one of their best guitar solos ever.
That's right. You have said that.
I
love.
I think we'll do a bonus episode on that one
We should.
on the Patreon. Hey Bean.
Hey Bean,
Bean?
what's up? Do we got a question for Bean?
Bean, do you like the Black Album? What are your thoughts on the Black Album?
Bean, what's your least favorite song on the Black Album?
And what's your favorite song on the Black Album?
We love you, Bean.
So, the project is like
Canned.
effectively canceled at that point. Well, not canceled, but like that version of it is canceled. That's not coming out. Back to the drawing board.
Put in the old recycling bin.
Jake Sinclair says, "I'm out of here. I got other things. I got Panic at the Disco
Got
albums to
better
produce.
stuff to do,
I got
yeah.
better things to do with my time." Jake Sinclair
Which
out.
is crazy. Yeah, as like as a producer, like your time is very valuable.
Yes.
To like put all the effort into an album, a Weezer album.
Yeah.
Especially after like, the hype of everything before it.
Right.
And just be like, cancel.
I'm out.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do this.
Yeah. It must have been I don't think there's one like unreleased thing I want to hear more than the original Black Album, because part of me is like,
For better or for worse.
like
I wanna
part of
hear it.
part of me is like, it's probably garbage, but also like, what if it's good? Like,
But
record labels throw stuff out all the time that's like solid gold.
I know, yeah. I'm kind of like on the fence because like it could either it's going to be one direction or the other.
Yeah.
It's either going to be good or it's going to be way worse.
Right.
Because like after like it being the third pass and being the Black Album as
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
How are you going to tell me that like the first version of it was any better, or
Yeah.
is it like a where it got overworked to death kind of situation?
Right. Yeah. And like, did it get canned because it was bad, or did it get canned because it was too weird to market, like as a Weezer album? We don't know. The demos that Rivers has released only go up to Pacific Daydream. The
Yep.
Black Album ones were supposed to come out like at some point, but they're touring and they're busy, and it's probably not on his mind. But like, if those come out, that's really what I want to hear, because like it was such a hyped up thing, and like, oh, they're doing this dark album, and like after the two albums, Everything Will Be Alright in the End and the White Album, like they were really kind of on a hot streak. So Weezer doing something a little more experimental could have been sick. But anyways, fast forward.
Give it another 2-3 years. I feel like we'll see something.
I think they're coming out. Yeah. Also, the Seasons demos got leaked.
Oh.
We'll talk about it later. I have some thoughts. So fast forward. So yeah, I Love the USA. That comes out in October 2016, and that's like effectively the end of the White Album era. February 2017. Little song called Feels Like Summer pops up.
Love that song.
Single, just a one-off single. As we know, it came out on Pacific Daydream, but I have reason to believe that this was meant to be the first single for the Black Album, for the second version of the Black Album. So a couple things that lead me to this conclusion. One, just the sound of it. You've got your sample drums, you've got your synths, it's kind of darker themed lyrics, more like piano based. That was another thing I didn't mention, but Rivers had been writing all on piano for this album.
Yeah, I know that he like in his songwriting process he does a lot with like writing the melodies on piano, because his thing is like he's like, if I try and write melody on guitar, he's like I overplay it and stuff like that, and he's like piano I have a more rudimentary understanding of, but I mean at this point I feel like by this point now he's like good enough at piano. You ever seen some of those videos of him playing like Beethoven and stuff?
Yeah, that was like during COVID. He was doing streams where he was just playing.
He's doing streams and then he had like filters on him where he was he's got chubby little cheeks. I watched some of those streams.
The wildest thing about like Zoom and that whole era of stuff was people who had backgrounds on stuff. I was like defending my thesis, And one of the guys, his background was just like Yankee Stadium. I was like, this is cool.
This is wow. I'm at a Yankees game.
It's
wow.
like one of the most important days of my life. Nah, he
You're
was
like,
a cool
cool.
professor though. He was one of my mentors.
Do you think it was on purpose, or do you think he didn't know how to fix it?
I think it was on purpose. He seems like that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Also, I did it on Zoom because that's when I graduated. It
too.
was spring of 2020, and then like I was just like staying at home with my parents at the time, and I finished and I went in the other room. My mom's like, "How'd you do?" And I was like, "Yeah, I didn't pass. I didn't graduate," and she was like so upset, and she believed me, and I was like, "I'm just kidding. I'm sorry."
You stinker!
I felt
Stinker
really
alert!
bad. I felt really bad.
That's really funny.
And she's like, "Now I don't know how many times you've been lying, and I've believed you." And I was like, "None. I'd always tell the truth. I'm a good boy."
The boy who cried wheeze, dude.
Yeah. So, anyways, feels like summer. Sorry, a little tangent there. The production leads me to believe it was meant for the Black Album. The lyrics, also, the music video, if you remember, is like it's like a black screen with an animated outline of Rivers like walking through that, which is very much kind of that aesthetic.
Kind of that aesthetic. It's not trash, but just the black background and then the way it kind of.
Do you like Feels Like Summer?
I love Feels Like Summer.
I was like,
I used to cover it all the time.
it was first of all, the acoustic version is the best
That's
version.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
But when it came out, I was like, this isn't the White Album. This is bad.
Oh, look at Charlie judging it off of the last Weezer off the last piece of work they put out, huh?
Look. I like it now because the production. When we do our Pacific Daydream episode, I have a lot to say because there are so many little things in the background of that song that you don't pick up on that are like genius.
Totally.
Which leads me to my third point. Produced by a fella goes by the name of Johnny Coffer, who has a couple production and writing credits on the actual Black Album, and also another song that I'm going to talk about in a second.
Okay.
So that leads me to believe that that one was meant to be on the Black Album. However, the reception was very mixed.
Yeah.
And White Album got its Grammy nomination right in there, which makes me think they kind of had cold feet and they said, people like the beach one. Let's do a beach album. And
they kind of pivoted in their heels a little bit. They're like, give it a little more time to cook, you know?
Yeah, and Rivers had his story that he was telling people in interviews, like, I had my Black Album folder, but I also had this beach folder that kept filling up faster. Mm-hmm. And I think Pacific Daydream was kind of rushed out because first Black Album was canned and the record label was maybe like, just give us something a little safer to put out.
Yeah, to come off the heels of White Album, yeah.
Yeah. So that, I believe, second version of the Black Album is being worked on and finished somewhere in there and then gets set aside for Pacific Daydream, which came out and, you know, is what it is. We'll talk about it. And then in 2017, that's when we talked about this a bit on the Teal episode. Rivers starts telling people, hey, the Black Album's coming out on May 25th, 2018.
Just calling it like he sees it.
It's coming out.
Yeah.
No official announcement, no word from the label, no anything. It's coming out. And I think that actually was the plan because there was a single that got leaked called Midnight.
Okay.
It's a track called Midnight, and Rivers had been playing it at some live acoustic shows that he was doing during this era as well. And the Can't Knock the Hustle music video was supposed to be, first of all, it was supposed to be the video for Happy Hour. That didn't happen. That's why the radio says Happy Hour in the car.
Oh, interesting.
And then they cut a new version of it for this song called Midnight.
Okay.
And then they didn't use that because second version of the Black Album got set aside when this little song called Africa started blowing up.
Yeah. It's like, let's ride off that train for a little while.
Yep. And the song Midnight was produced by Johnny Coffer.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is connected. And I think like it kind of fits sonically more with Feels Like Summer than it does with some of the actual stuff we got on the Black Album. So that got pushed aside for Africa, which then became Teal. Then sometime in 2018, Rivers starts working on a new album in a folder that's just called the Sitek album, which is for producer Dave Sitek,
Cool.
who is best known for his work on TV on the radio, which, have you checked him out at all?
I haven't had a chance.
I was supposed to
I'm
send you
sorry.
some.
Yeah.
I was saying last time when we recorded the Lost episode that morning I was listening to TV on the radio all morning, and I was listening to them all week. I'm actually quite a big fan now.
Were you listening to TV on the radio on the aux?
Yeah.
That's not funny. I don't know why I said that.
I think it was pretty fun. Hey, Colin.
What's up?
That was a good one.
You're a good one, Charlie.
Are you okay over there?
I just I'm kind of lost in my own little world because we're talking about Pacific Daydream and the Black Album. I'm almost wondering what the marriage of those two albums would have looked like if it was like a nighttime on like Palm Springs or something like that.
I feel like you could cut together tracks from that and
like
the
a
Black
fan
album and make something better.
I think you probably could. I mean, I like Pacific Daydream, and I think that's the album that it had to be.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see if like you took if you did like the Michael Jackson thing where you took like 40 or 50 of those songs in the same era and just chopped it down to 10.
I bet there's
I bet there would be a fantastic piece of work in there.
I think Pacific Daydream has more in common with the Black Album. Well, it's about 50-50 actually.
That's
Half
what I'm saying.
of it
is a bridge album. Yeah.
Yeah, like a song like Beach Boys, I think, has more in common with the Black Album than the White Album. But then there's Mexican Fender, which is like literally a White Album leftover, basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe when we do our Pacific Daydream episode, we can reevaluate and see.
I think it'd be interesting.
This was certainly an interesting time to be a Weezer fan.
It's interesting, and it was a lot of defending.
It really, the amount of like interviews where they're like, people just want us to make the Blue Album again, but we want to do our own thing. And it's like, no, we don't want that. You did that and we liked it, but we just want good music.
Dude. Well, it's weird. Yeah, this was like one of those like, it seems like it kind of comes in waves sometimes where Weezer will publicly get kind of annoyed with the fan base.
Yeah.
And we were kind of saying a little earlier, we feel like we're coming upon like a Weezer like renaissance for the fans right now.
I think we're in a very good age of Weezer.
Is it next week?
Yeah, so actually the day this comes out, probably we'll be on our way down to Madison.
Yep.
Our friend Sam is scooting us down there.
Doing the boot scooting boogie down to we're doing the boogie down to Madison to see friggin' Weezer and Modest Mouse
and Mama.
And Mama.
Have you listened to Mama at all?
I'm saying unaware. I want to be like
Mama
exposed.
is so good. You're gonna love Mama. You're gonna really love Mama.
Dude, I got emotional when I saw like Weezer put up on Instagram like that they watched like the final like stage production for the show and they were like enthralled by it.
I think it's gonna be cool.
People have been saying that the stage production for this tour is insane, and then I'm seeing some of the set lists come out.
Yeah, man, that set that they did as like the warm up show when they played Paperface and like Blast Off.
If we play Paperface, I think at the very least we're gonna hear Blast Off. But if we hear Paperface, I'm gonna be a mess.
I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna start a mosh pit. I'm gonna fight.
Get in the Weezer.
I'm gonna punch Colin in the face.
I'm gonna get decked. All right?
I'm gonna deck him.
I don't care, dude. It'll be awesome. I'm gonna get a shirt that says I got decked at Weezer. But it's gonna be like tech deck font.
I went to the indie rock road trip tour and all I got was punched in the face.
If all I got punched in the face, I'm gonna have a paper face.
Whoa. What does paper face mean?
I thought that was like a drug thing. Like you're white as a sheet or something like that.
Oh.
Because what are the lyrics? She blew her top, blew her top.
Any more blew her top, stole a car, shot a cop. Ran away 200 miles. Didn't stop until she hit New Orleans. That's a rhyme. It's just one thing. Or anything. She left behind. Can we take a second and just listen to Paperface?
Paperface.
That's
so
been
good.
My favorite Weezer song for a bit.
Yeah, that's my like hyper fixation right now.
That's coming on WeezfestCast too. We're gonna play it.
Dude.
Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell nobody. You heard it here first.
But yeah, if you're going to the Weezer Madison show and you somehow see this before, we'll put a thing on Instagram too. But come say hey. It'd be cool to meet some homies.
Seriously.
I know we're gonna have some homies there too.
Dude,
we're gonna be hanging out with.
Heck yeah.
It's gonna be a good old time. I'm gonna drink a Pabst Blue Album.
The Pabst Blue Album, dude. It's one of the best.
Anyways, I just don't want to talk about the Black Album. Whatever. Get it done. Let's do it. So Rivers sends some stuff to Dave Sitek, one of which being Can't Knock the Hustle. which he did his production on that we've all heard on the Black Album, sends it back, and Rivers loved it. I think for good reason, because that song.
It's the best on the album.
That's my only song I like off of this one, and the production is really fun, and it actually kind of feels like kind of a step forward from White Album, and like it's got kind of the energy of the White Album and like the spirit of the White Album. It's kind of the weirder stuff with like Jacked Up and Thank God for Girls.
Yeah.
But it's like a little more out there sonically. It's got that funky thing going.
Pat's just cooking.
Pat's cooking
on that one.
And the greatest guitar bend of all time.
The little F sharp.
More like Matt Sharp.
More like Matt F sharp.
So Dave Sitek, they like immediately start working with him, and it's unknown if this was meant to be the Black Album or if it was like scrapped, because a couple sites were like reporting it as being called Invasion of Privacy for whatever, like had pre-orders for that, which was weird. And it might just have been some weird
Invasion of Privacy, another band.
It's a Cardi B album, I think.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Which came out the same year.
Interesting.
Cardi Weez.
Cardi Weez. Someone got their lines crossed there.
Yeah. Do you like Cardi B?
I'm traumatized by Cardi B. I had a partner that listened to Cardi B like a lot, like a lot, a lot, like a lot, a lot, a lot, like a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, like a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot.
When you Colin,
so much.
Would you rather listen to Cardi B or Black Album?
Oh
right now?
no, I would rather listen to Bodak Yellow than Zombie Bastards.
I'd rather watch BoJack Horseman.
It's a good show.
My friend Emily really likes that show, and I keep telling her I'm going to finish it, and I always forget. Emily, I'm sorry.
I've watched it 3 times.
Everyone I know who's watched is like, yeah, I watched it like 10 times, and it like is terrible emotionally.
Yeah, I watch it in winters, and I just ruin myself.
Is that a Seasons Winter reference?
Yeah, it is actually. I get these things in winters where I'm like kind of on the fringe of like depression. So then I just like listen to Radiohead or like Bear by the Antlers.
Listen to the Twin Peaks soundtrack for a month straight.
I did do that.
I know.
Yeah, I was unhinged, dude.
What if WeezfestCast had Twin Peaks vibes?
That's something to explore.
Do you ever see the David Lynch? He like does the updates like every week and is like, "Wouldn't you know it? It's Friday," or whatever he says. But it's like
his little intro.
I love David Lynch.
Wouldn't you know it? We're back in the WeezfestCast.
Let's get David Lynch. Okay, do you think David Lynch has ever listened to a Weezer album?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you think his favorite Weezer album is?
It's probably like Maladroit.
I was gonna say it's gonna be one of like those ones.
What Weezer album has the most Twin Peaks vibes? Actually,
the most Twin Peaks vibes?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question. I don't think we've the closest Weezer adjacent thing is that thing we were listening to earlier.
Yeah. Okay. Stop the podcast.
Yeah.
So Matt Sharp did a soundtrack for a podcast, like a paranormal podcast called The Midnight Society, I believe. And it's like
rules.
It's like really awesome, like horror synth music. It's so
amazing.
good. I think it's technically Under the Rentals. It's Matt Sharp and someone else. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the name. Put it up there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Put it up there, Colin.
Fantastic. Like, amazing.
150,000% my
We were just kind of playing it while we were setting up, and it's
so
just,
good.
It's so great to listen to.
It's what I wanted the Black Album to be.
It's what we wanted the Black Album to be, and I want to just listen to that and clean my room. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I love some great background music.
Spooky synth music. Are you getting a package right now?
The Upus just pulled up.
Bring them on.
I don't order things online. I buy things in store.
It's 10 million gallons of black paint to pour on top of us so we can recreate the Black Album cover.
I don't want to. I don't want to listen
to be fair, one of my favorite Weezer album covers. Album is terrible. I really like the album cover. I think it's a cool thing, like a cool play on it.
I think, I was gonna say they turned it on its head a little bit, where it's the picture of them all lined up, but it's different.
Yeah.
So,
anyways,
what do you think they're gonna do for the Yellow album? It's the same thing, but pee.
That's disgusting.
That's foul.
No, it's gonna be them in front of a yellow backdrop.
It's gonna be them at Lambeau Field.
They're not doing the Yellow album. Oh, we did this last time. Okay, next Weezer color album. What color you think it's gonna be? I say orange.
It's gonna be teal, but a little bit darker.
I'm gonna punch you in your face.
Dude, the magenta album,
the pink album,
the fuchsia album,
chartreuse album. The Chartreuse City on the Bay.
Dude, that's one of my favorite Carlos Champagne songs.
Can we get one of the Balcony Brothers to come to our podcast?
If I could just like Talk to a Balcony Brother one more
They
time.
covered Burnt Jam.
That's true. They did it a little different, but like,
Yeah.
you know what? They are a little different.
That's true. Anyways.
But yeah, getting back on track here.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
We're getting distracted.
Sorry. So anyways, Dave Satek, TV on the Radio, produced the album, and I believe that's the third version of the album. So the one we got is the third version of the Black Album, which wasn't even quite supposed to be the Black Album. And it feels like at that point they just gave up and they were like, we've sunk enough money into this. We need to put something out. This is it.
I think it is too. And it's just one of those things where it's like we can't go back, which is why I'm so interested in what that first one sounds like.
I feel like
even the second one.
So I'm gonna play you Midnight later from the second one, but also there's a couple songs. There was a song called Runner Up that was meant for the first one that got like just removed from everything, and then it was gonna be on Seasons. I think he was like reworking it, maybe, or maybe that was an OK Human one, but that Rivers was like, it's like if Pinkerton was all piano, is what he described it as. And I'm like, that doesn't fit with what the Black Album... And like, Rivers describing Weezer music is usually not 100% accurate. Because it's always like, oh, it's like the Blue Album, but with this extra thing. And then it comes out and it's like Van Weezer was supposed to be Blue Album with more guitar riffs, and it's not that.
No.
It's just loud ratitude. And I love it.
And it's great for it.
But yeah, so it came out, and then the other thing, this album was just cursed from the beginning, kind of how this episode was, because like I guess their promotional company like took all their money and just like didn't do anything with it, and that's why the promo for this album was so weird, and they're like reusing the Happy Hour music video, and like.
Dude, yeah, Weezer promo has always been kind of weird, but especially like this was just like, what's going on? Like the AI indie rock road trip one. Like,
that one, I thought that was funny.
It was funny, but at least it was intentional and they didn't get scammed.
Yeah. It's just like, so the album comes out and it's bad. Plus you've got Teal album. Plus the promo's bad. Like, plus you've got Rivers in interviews being like, our fans are stupid. They just want us to make the Blue album. You guys.
Oh my God, dude,
like,
yeah.
It's just, looking back at it, we can laugh at it now because they've put out better music since. But at the time, I was like, Weezer, what are you doing?
I was gonna say, like, they did that, and then like they're like, why did nobody come to our Broadway?
Yeah,
our Broadway show.
Dude, I would have if it would have been cheaper.
If it would have been cheaper, I would have gone to it. Well, I mean, I'm sure a lot of that was out of their hands.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
man, like you can't chalk trash on your pants.
You guys suck. Come see us play the Four Seasons.
Absurd
idiots.
Amounts of money.
Now they're like, please, we'll play Paperface. We'll play Blast Off. Please come to our indie rock road trip. Please. Hey Weezer, I got a way for you to win back all your fans. If you're watching this, just play Crab in Madison next week.
Just play Crab in Madison. I know I'm gonna hear Greatest Man That Ever Lived, so I'm happy.
Spoilers. Watch him not play it now.
This can't come out until after the show.
Yeah. If Weezer plays Crab in Madison, the next episode is gonna be just us eating crab.
No.
For 2 hours.
Disgusting.
So yeah, kind of a low point in the Weezer world. And like already before the album came out, like in interviews, similar to how he was teasing the Black Album before White Album came out, but he's like, yeah, I've actually got 2 albums in the works. One of them's called Van Weezer and one of them's called OK Human. And like Van Weezer's gonna be awesome riffs and stuff, and OK Human's with a full orchestra, and it's gonna be a masterpiece and the best thing we've ever done. And it's like, okay, but what about Black Album? He's like, don't worry about Black Album.
At that point, yeah, he'd probably given up.
Yeah.
He's like, he knew he lost. Yeah, like we were saying earlier, like it doesn't matter who wins or loses in this game, but like he lost on Black. I'm sorry.
We all lost on Black.
He bet it all on Black, and it hit that 0-0, baby.
And I'm sad because it's like one of the few Weezer albums that's on cassette. And I've been like collecting cassettes. And I'm like, I don't even want it.
Charlie, what's your favorite cassette that you own right now?
My favorite cassette that I own, well, the one that Colin got me for Christmas, which is the Undone single.
I was prodding for that.
Yeah, thank you. Also, I have the new Always album that came out last year, Blue Rev. Got that one on cassette. Nice. Got AC/DC 74 Jailbreak.
Ooh, okay.
What else do I have? Oh, there's this. I'm just gonna do a plug for an artist that I really love. I don't know if they're even still making music, but there's this artist named Kira and the Lesbians.
Oh,
And they also
Who
Kira,
was talking to me about that?
probably me. But they have one album out from 2016, and then Kira, the front person, also has solo stuff out. But it's like a really awesome, sort of folksy, sort of surfy album. And I ordered the cassette on Bandcamp because there were like 3 left.
Oh, dang.
And I was like, I want this. And they just didn't send it to me.
Oh, ooh.
And so I sent a message assuming it was going to go to like the label or something. And I'm like, hey, here's my tracking number. Just checking on this. And like, Kira was the one who emailed me back, I'm pretty sure. And they were like, sorry, I'm going to send you a whole bunch of other stuff too.
Make up for
and
it.
they sent me like this like hand-pressed 7-inch single and like all this awesome stuff. So shout out to them. Please go listen to that album because it rules.
Sounds like a cool album.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite records of all time, and a lot of people don't know it. It's really cool. There's a song on it called Witch's Tit that's
There
like
it is.
so groovy. It's so good.
Dude, I love cassette. The first cassette I ever got was one I stole from my dad, and it was Asia by Steely Dan.
Bro,
And that's one of my like top 3 consistent albums of all time. Good thing everything's just trash.
Oh, I also the other day I sent you a picture, but I found Sports by Huey Lewis in the news at St. Vinny's for 25 cents. So that was pretty sick.
Dude, I just picked up a Blueberry Hits by Fats Domino. That's another great
Blueberry
album.
Hits?
Yeah.
Did you know? Okay, like I was well into my life when I realized that Chubby Checker was a play on Fats Domino.
Yeah, dude.
People are so creative.
I know. You know what?
What would your play on Fats? I'd be Chunky Chest. Charles Entertainment Chess.
Charles Entertainment Cheese. I would probably be what's the Fats Domino? Probably big cards. Big CARDS.
What up?
Big
My name's
cards.
Big Marbles. Stop it.
Oh no.
Stop it.
Cut it out. Is there anything else we want to talk about?
I don't know. I think this is the album along with Teal that ruined like what the Color self-titled albums were supposed to represent.
I know.
It really sucks. I don't.
But you know
see
what?
them
Having
doing,
White be the last good one is fine by me.
I don't see
the one
them-
before that.
Yeah, I don't see them doing another one for a long time. I think the last album they put out is going to be a Color album.
Didn't something get leaked about like a potential name for the next album or something like that?
Well, they're like supposedly working on songs from the Black Hole again.
Right, yeah.
There was that
Which would
fake
be
thing
great
about
for
the
me.
Yellow album featuring Ice Spice. The leading single being "Still Can't Stop Partying."
I
In a
keep saying
heartbeat.
that I would listen to that, but more than likely it'd be another Teal, and I just
Give me
wouldn't
another
like
Ratitude, like genuinely.
it. Well, I mean that's what Van Weezer was. We can take a break.
No, the 2 Van 2 Weezer.
2 Van 2 Weezer. Van Weezer. What was the board meeting for that? Like where they were coming up like for a name for that? They're like, wait, hear me out.
Well, they had
Van Weezer.
Scott Schreiner's nephew's friend do the cover art on Photoshop free version with
Yeah.
the stock lighting.
They used
I love Van
Photoshop
Weezer.
Express.
Van Weezer is 3 million times better than the Black Album.
It is. It's lovely. It's fun.
All right.
It's just fun.
We're putting it off. I think we got to head into a track by track. Any final thoughts?
I think that this album sucks.
Okay. Yeah. Track 1, Can't Knock the Hustle.
Boom. This like the cheese shop cheese cutter guitar.
Yeah. So good. Can't knock the hustle.
Oh, I love all those.
I know it's not true, but I like to picture that that's just Brian and Scott in the background doing those voices. I know it's not true.
Dude, I wish. This little offbeat classic Pat like groove beat.
That is like the quintessential modern Weezer Pat beat.
Yeah, totally.
Does
This
on
is, like,
everything.
so yeah, I know. It's because like I think part of what it is that so sometimes there's this thing in production where you compress the drums on a whole.
Yeah.
Where you just, if you're doing even hi-hats, your offbeats kind of stick out a little bit
Sure.
because everything compresses when it's really loud.
Yeah.
But so you kind of get that naturally, but he's clearly leaning into that.
Yeah.
So he's is exaggerating that. I think it sounds badass.
He's the king of the funk groove, man. Not the king of it, but in Weezer's
He's the king of the world. I love this part.
It's so cool. You know what? You know what? I'm just gonna say
I'm gonna say it.
Don't step to me. Don't step to me. Don't step to me, bitch.
I ain't like them other boys.
Tell him, Colin.
Wasn't that like another kind of lyric from Pacific Daydream though?
I don't know.
I think on Happy Hour he also says something like
yeah.
that, where he's like, I don't like my feelings won't get hurt because I'm not like other boys or something like that.
Also, higher education is the key to escape, but I never
learned to roll a joint. I love that line. Sorry, you didn't get a 5-star review. You got like
2.08 out of 5 on Rate Your Music.
Yikes.
Look at this kitty cat. He thinks it's real.
It's real.
He thinks it's real.
It's him.
It's him.
Every time Arnie walks in the room,
it's him. It's you. Okay.
Interesting way to it just ends like. But
the one good song off of this album. Let's end the episode right here.
Yeah, dude, cut it.
If that was a one-off single, Weezer's back in a big way, baby.
It's what's disappointing is because like the video for that dropped and I was so hyped.
Yeah,
I was like, this is a cool song. This is a cool video.
Like, yeah.
And I'm like, I'm excited for the whole thing, and I'm like. But then just feeling disappointed when I actually just listened to the rest of it. It's like, like the instrumentation school. I was like, but it's just like a lukewarm. It was even then. It was like a lukewarm album for me.
Yeah. I like that song because at the time my like side hustle, aside from doing freelance music stuff, was delivering groceries through Shipped, and I would drive that around just like I'm gonna give my 5-star review. Can't knock my hustle.
You can, dude.
You can't knock my hustle.
Me working at Domino's, thinking about that song all the time.
Yeah. That's a good one though. It's one of those few songs on here with actual like cohesive lyrics too.
No, yeah, it's a great titular track or a great like first track on this one.
Yep. So, good song. Good song. Moving on to track number 2.
I still am liking this song. I still think that this is an interesting, good song to listen to.
I'm gonna listen extra hard to the lyrics because to me this is one where like the lyrics are nonsense. They don't mean anything. But you were mentioning earlier like we're talking like. This is them being like, our fans want us to be one way, but they're zombie bastards. They're gonna die. We're doing what we want to do, which like is the Weezer thing of like we're making songs about how we're gonna do what we want to do.
Yeah,
whatever. But like,
I think it's
geared towards your fans.
Yeah,
you clearly know better.
Hostile,
like, clearly
like,
know better than you.
It's like goofy adjacent.
It's like bad Jason Mraz.
That's fair.
Also okay. My one thing with this song, this came out. I remember where I was when it dropped. I was in the Detroit airport on like a 4-hour layover playing. I had Risk download out of my phone, and I was playing a lot of Risk.
I've never finished a game of Risk in my life.
Wuss. Weenie.
Everybody else quit.
Weenie. Because you're too good?
Yeah, because I was too epic at Risk. I'm cutthroat at Monopoly. And mean at Risk.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, they dropped it. Now, if you're doing an album called The Black Album, and you've got a song that's dropping in late November, Colin, why the don't you drop it on Black Friday? Colin.
Because everyone's being a zombie.
2 days before Black Friday, Colin.
Yeah, they're getting them hype, I guess. I don't know.
Why not drop it on Black Friday?
They didn't have a budget.
Colin.
They didn't have a budget for a marketing strategy because they got scammed.
My budget was 0 and I thought of that. Weezer, hire me to market your next album.
We won't scam you.
We won't scam you. We won't scam you. That's our...
Charlie and Colin.
We won't scam you.
We won't
and
scam you.
Arnie might scam you.
And then put scam in quotation marks.
And make the $ the S on scam.
I think it's here.
We won't scam you.
But with the S with the $sign. Hi, Arnie.
Oh, you've been chosen by the little boy. All right, this is Zombie Bastards. I don't care.
Let's listen.
Whatever.
Something I'm hearing is like the guitar intro in the last one and the guitar now for this one sound like a pawn shop guitar.
Yeah.
Like
it's
the
really
cheapest like casino guitar.
I actually like it.
No, yeah. Production on this is interesting, I think.
So far the lyrics are not giving me anything.
As I said, we're listening to 2 different songs right now, I feel like.
Also the little synth in the background that's like Pretty sure that's the same exact sound that my grandpa's old Toyota Highlander made when you left the door open too long.
Oh, really?
We can go up, we can go down, we can run you out of town. We'll be seeing you around. What does that mean? Nothing.
If you dig into it, there's something probably about like maybe how they picture the fans thinking about them or something like that.
I don't know.
Where it's like Weezer fans are like, we own you kind of a thing, and we want you to do this.
Okay, but if you got beef, put it in there.
Yeah.
Don't skirt around it.
I remember there's a quote by Rivers about the spreadsheet method.
Yeah.
Where he was like, I don't think that, like he's like, was one of the things he found appealing about it is that he didn't know what his own songs were about. Where he's like, he could figure it out. Yeah, no, and it's like, the most clear on this album.
Yeah. Get it
you
up
know what
now.
you want, dude.
What are we
Get
getting
it up.
up?
The Blue album, 3.0.
No.
Yeah, this one is very much feels like a pitch.
Can I turn it off?
No, we're gonna stick it out.
Colin, I don't want to listen to the Black Album.
Stick it out. We have fortitude of will.
Yeah, like
that's cool.
No, it's not.
The guitar part.
Okay, but the vocal part sounds like
we're listening
ass.
to 2 different things right now. I've been tuning out the vocals this whole time.
No, if I gotta listen, you gotta listen. We're analyzing this.
I think that they should have ended it there.
They should have ended it before it started.
Not enough of a halftime.
My friend Hannah put this song on a playlist about some D&D characters because she makes playlists about D&D characters and like shares them with people in her campaign, and it's super cool. And her friend was listening to the playlist and sent her a text and was like, "Did you just make me listen to Weezer?"
Did you just make me listen to some of the worst Weezer?
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine.
I think it feels like a pitch to a different artist.
Like that part doesn't need to be in there.
That's what I'm saying. I think that it kind of feels like that's what it was supposed to be, is like that synth part, and then he forgot to mute the vocals.
Yeah. Yeah, this part. You left your car door open.
Yeah, I hear it. Yeah.
Oh, there's
I like
a little
the fade.
transition.
I like some of those.
Weezer
cool. Does good with transitions.
They do. Yeah, I mean, forgettable.
Yeah, I mean,
it's fine.
A C- pop song.
I like I do like the production.
Yeah.
I like the guitars and I like the palm muted, distorted stuff.
Yeah.
I wish the chorus was catchier and I wish the lyrics meant anything.
Yeah, no, totally. Exactly. Like I think that as we're talking about the spreadsheet method, is like he saw that in there, Zombie Bastards or whatever, and then just kind of ran with that idea, and he just needed some nonsense to slap in the rest of it.
Yeah.
And he's like, this feels adjacent to how I feel.
We've been working on the Black Album for 2 years. I need something.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, that's Zombie Bastards. Whatever. Don't listen to it. I think it's on my Halloween playlist.
Fine.
It's fine.
It's a C- pop song. It's a D- Weezer song.
Yeah. As a Weezer song, it's like Feels Like Summer but way worse, you know?
Yeah.
Like that feel they've done way better before, or like Jacked Up or something like that.
Oh, absolutely. Also, for one of the other things that as I said, like the production is fine. I get interest listening to it.
Yeah.
However, a terrible second song on the album.
Right.
This does not make me want to keep listening.
Yeah. And this was like a single.
Yeah.
Like they put this out as a single.
I know. That's, frankly, not cool.
Not good. Not good. Not good. Anyways,
Keep moving.
track 3, High as a Kite.
I love this song.
You love this song.
I think this is a good song.
I think there's a good song in there. I don't necessarily like the production on it. Well, it's like technically good, but I don't think it does any favors to the song. To me, this feels like the precursor to OK Human, and maybe like because he was already kind of working on OK Human at this point, maybe he just needed a song, and it was like, here, Dave Satek, do something with this.
Sure, yeah. I think the video for this one is pretty cool.
The video is amazing with like the Muppets.
Yep, yeah.
Well, not the Muppets.
Well,
that was Keith Fishing with the fake Muppets.
Fake Muppets, yeah. They couldn't do it again. They couldn't hire them.
Reminds me of that video, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
Oh, yeah. Dude, do you see that there's new ones?
Oh, my God.
They have, like, they put out another season.
Season?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch more right
I
now.
thought there was one.
No, they have, like, more, yeah. I was watching them late at night. It was a bad move.
Why?
Yeah, I'm scared.
Scared. I remember being in high school and being in study hall and being in the band room during study hall and pulling that up and being like, look at this funny video. And it's like, oh, haha, this is funny. And then it gets really scary.
That's it. That was like the classic, like you were hanging out with your friends and that one who had the projector in the basement.
Yeah.
And everyone's going around like picking stuff to watch.
Yeah.
And you put that on.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, this is also taken from a song that was written for Everything Will Be Alright in the End called When We Were Young and sort of retooled for this, which is why I think it has kind of... It also reminds me a bit of Long Time Sunshine.
I can see that.
Your classic Rivers Cuomo piano demo. Let's get into it. I think it's fine.
Which he played at one of the most recent shows.
Bro.
I know.
Get me crying in the club.
Dude, I will be.
Yeah, I think it's good, not great, but I can see why you would love it.
I enjoy this.
All right. High as a Kite, which is how you have to be to think this album is good.
He's getting pop shots left and right.
This album
Got
sucks.
a dunk on it.
The drum sound is a neat choice.
I could see this as just like a little bit slower, just piano. This would be like one of those last songs on the album.
Yeah. Scott's bass is really nice.
Yeah, it's... Also, doesn't feel like a Black Album track.
No, absolutely. And it feels like an OK Human track, really. Maybe
totally.
White Album. This one, the lyrics, they at least fit together in a cohesive way. You know, it's nothing too deep or anything, but they fit, you know?
Right. I'm also, like, noticing the delivery in his vocals where he's not, like, opening his mouth very much. It's a little muffled during the verses.
That's something on this
whole
whole
album. But he's hitting
album.
that high, like he's opening his mouth a lot.
I think his vocals are kind of uninspired on this one.
Which is fair. I mean, he doesn't... He's probably just... After the third pass is probably just...
It's just kind of
sick
quiet.
Of it. That's cool.
The guitars sound a little weird to me on this one. I guess it wouldn't fit to have the classic Weezer, like, chunky guitars.
Totally. Like, it's a textural thing.
But, like, the chords here... I don't know if it's how they're blending with the synths or what. Something sounds a little off to me.
They did this live when I saw them.
Oh, yeah?
And this part, like, sounds a lot more full live.
I believe it.
Bow, bow, now, now.
This bridge is cool. This is the part in the music video that I really like.
Yeah. What was happening at this part?
When it, like, gets all evil.
Oh, yeah.
And Brian Bell... What was he? Was he wearing the train conductor, or what was he wearing?
I don't remember.
He was wearing a funny costume.
He's a goofy little costume.
So here's where I think...
Soundscape.
So I think at this point, they did not know how to end the song. And I'm going to... Because that chorus comes in weird, and there's another thing that happens where I'm like, they clearly didn't know how to end it. So he just stops right there.
He's high.
But, like, it doesn't even trail off. Like,
he's high. They just forgot to bounce the reverb trail for that one.
They forgot to put in the guitar solo or something.
There's a guitar solo.
That's what's going on in the back of the chorus the whole time.
Yeah, but it's solo guitar.
Shut up. There's, like, clearly a part missing, right? Like...
Because he's high as a kite, he forgot it.
Colin, not that deep.
I think that my feeling on that song, though, is coming back to back with Zombie Bastards, like saying high as a kite on the nose is like, you know, like the drug references right there. However, I
Correct.
think, but he's like talking about floating around how he doesn't want to come back down to earth. I think maybe there is something there about like his attitude towards the Weezer fans, and he's being a little more like, where Zombie Bastards was more like aggressive. This is just like him like being like, I want to take a step back. I don't want to
I'm
like.
content with who I am. I'm high as a kite up here. No one can hurt me. No one can.
Yeah.
I won't be coming down anytime soon. I could see that.
Yeah, I mean,
could
yeah.
see that.
If only one of those was going to end up on the album, I definitely would have preferred it to be this one. And
I'm shocked that one didn't close the album, especially with
no,
how
yeah.
the album closer
the
is.
track list on this is weird.
Bonkers.
Yeah.
I was reading a thing that they try to put the most like commercially viable ones at the front and not at the end. Or at least like on this one and Van Weezer, they tried to do. I think the season stuff was paced more like with intent and OK Human and stuff. But like it's clearly just thrown together with no thought.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's I mean, you know, you can say what you will about the state of the music industry, you know, about how, like, you just pump out a bunch of singles and then throw an album together. But, like, I don't know. Like, you're Weezer. You can just make an album.
You've been hyping up the Black Album.
Yeah.
You know, that's my big thing with this album is, okay, you're directly comparing it to the White Album, and you're saying, I want to do something different. I want to do something my own way. Mm-hmm. If that comes out and it's not as good, what's the point?
Right.
Like, what's the point of being like, I'm going to do things my own way, and then it's garbage?
Yeah.
Like, that's why it's so disappointing, I think. Because I think with this concept, like, there is a cool album to be made.
There's a lot of, like, things that could be cool about this album, even just in some of the song titles.
For real.
Names, and then you just, like, start listening to it, and it's just disappointing.
Even just, like, better lyrics on, like, Zombie Bastards would be, like, immediate.
It could be a funny-ass song.
It really could. It really could. Colin, I don't like the next song.
Let's just
I don't
play
like
and
Living in LA.
it.
I don't. You like it.
It's stuck in my head, I think is what it is.
Okay.
I think I've got Stockholm Syndrome because of it.
I'm gonna do a little game with you, okay? Where
Yeah.
I'm gonna play a little bit of it, and then I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna ask you a question, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Is interesting?
First of all, here it is. Living in LA. Title card. Why did my
What's
phone
up?
froze? Put up the little doggy unplugging the thing that says technical difficulty. All right, everybody, we're back. The Black Album literally broke my phone. It shut down my phone.
It just wasn't doing nothing.
Okay, now to make the joke I was going to make when I started playing this. Oh, I love Maroon 5. Okay, Colin, now listen really intently, and then we're going to play a little thing here. My eyes are like faraway spaceships, Colin.
Dude, they were like far away.
You're a sealed up door.
He's like high as a kite from the last song.
This girl I like.
This.
Okay, Colin.
Yeah.
Having heard the first minute and 12 seconds of that, I want you to tell me, without using the title of the song, what this song is about.
It's about how he's just being honest. No. No, I mean,
because you like this song, so you've listened to it, so you should know what it's about, right?
Well, he's just talking about like this experience he's having with this girl or whatever.
Wow. Riveting stuff.
That's what every Weezer song is
this
about.
This girl
though.
I like. So what does the girl have to do with living in LA, Colin?
Females live in LA, dude. Get over yourself. Dude, I'm telling you, this girl I like.
That's the laziest. That is the laziest. Look, Weezer has had some pretty lazy songs about girls. This girl I like. This girl I like.
It doesn't have to be overstated.
I feel so lonely.
Not everything has to be clever. Not everything got to be clever.
It should at least mean something.
It means that this girl he likes
lives in LA.
She's living in LA.
Where he lives?
Yeah, dude.
What a coincidence. I bet that's how they met.
What a coincidence. A town of millions of people that two people live in.
This
dude, I've told you, I'm not a lyrics person. The production on this is fun.
It's fun. fine.
It's fun.
It's okay.
This song is fun.
No, it's not.
It's
It makes me mad.
The intro is to Maroon 5. You're correct.
It's
And
La
the rest of the
Mancha
song is pretty-
Screwjob, but worse.
That's fair.
With
La
better
Mancha
production.
Screwjob is
With better production, I'll give you that.
But no, it's just like clearly we both agree on this. The lyrics on this album could
Are
have gone
garbage.
through 10 more rewrites probably
Yes.
to get somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it was rewritten 3 times. I don't know how many drafts this song went through, but if you just took the song, the melody can stay the same, the timing of the lyrics can stay the same, just change the lyrics out, and I think you got a pretty darn good song.
Change the lyrics out, yeah.
I think that it's just fun to like that offbeat kind of thing, which is like kind of like I don't want to. It's not referencing anything, it's just a song that they wrote, but like it's reminiscent of like all the offbeat stuff of Green Album.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm living, and then it hits on the downbeat towards the end of the phrase.
All right.
It's like it's driving, It's a Weezer over the top pop, but bad lyrics.
I think this is a style of song that they tried to make a few times over, and like never quite.
We'll take another
nailed
crack at it.
And I feel like there's a song off of Seasons Autumn called "What Happens After You" that's like pretty reminiscent of this, where they finally like nailed it.
That's fair.
But like this reminds me a lot of La Mancha Screwjob and Get Right, and like some of the other like even Hurley stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the melody reminds me of that one. Is it Avicii? The one that's like, "Whoa, sometimes I get a good feeling."
Yeah, it sounds like it.
That's not the original song, but like at that
the sample
tempo.
from
Yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to point out how absolute garbage the lyrics are. They're so bad.
That's fine. Yeah, I agree. And
Okay.
but it's like I tell you what, man. The girl,
It's catchy.
Stuck in my head. It's catchy. But like not because it's the melody and the tempo. It's not the subject matter.
Yes.
That's catchy.
Yes.
Totally.
Okay. Let's finish it out. I do like the acoustic guitar.
I like the version they did on NPR.
Yeah.
I like that version.
I'm mixed on the drums. I think they could have done something cooler with them. Like closer to Can't Knock the Hustle. These sound a little too processed for my taste.
Well, it has that thing I was kind of talking about where the downbeat on the hi-hat is not as, but like I'm pretty sure that it's just even.
Yeah.
And it just because of the compression, it moves.
When they were playing this live on the Black Album tour, they tried to do like a rock version of it with like distorted guitars, and it's like every video I've seen, it's so sloppy and bad.
No, yikes.
I do like the bridge. This is from another demo.
I almost wonder if some of like the way that they're presenting the lyrics, or like what the lyrics are here, is about being lonely, and there's like somebody that is like, but like the shallowness of LA is shining through a little bit.
I'm gonna be honest. I think you're putting more thought into it than
Probably,
Rivers did.
but you know what? What is art? But how the people who listen to it receive it.
I could give you that.
That's cool. I love that. I love that.
That's the thing. Rivers can just like crap out a million catchy choruses. Like it's nothing. He's got folders and folders.
There's just
full
people
of
like that.
Yeah.
I have to work hard to come up with something, anything.
Yeah. I feel that.
I feel so lonely. I feel so lonely.
See, I hate it, and I'm still singing along to it. So, like,
what I'm saying,
what does that tell you?
But like, there's something about like maybe I resonate with it a little hard because like of my time in Milwaukee, whereas like not necessarily like looking for romance. Milwaukee. Is that like there is like a loneliness when you're like in a large city, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, this was
non-romantically, just in like trying to find friendships. It's hard. Everyone has their established friends groups.
That's me living in Nashville when this album came out. I feel that. That's relatable, I will say.
But and I think you raise a good point that it's like we're diving into it more than probably
more
was
than it was meant to be.
Yeah.
But also, like, if you're gonna hype up this super dark and gritty experimental album and give us that,
No,
kind of
seriously,
deserves to be torn apart.
You
a bit.
can, yeah, exactly. And also, like, there's a way to present that message that if that's what, even if they did think about it
right
in that way, and that's the message that it is, you can tell a different kind of story. Yeah.
And all of this to say, like, the stuff that they have done since the Black Album, since he's gone back to like actually writing songs without a spreadsheet, is like leagues better than this. So like, I think it was just an experiment that went on a little too long for songwriting.
Imagine. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm just saying. I think like Rivers is a good songwriter.
Oh yeah.
He was just a little too deep in his idea.
I think, and this is something that just kind of popped in my head because you're talking about like the live version being more of a rock. I was like, imagining if this like got kind of worked, but like imagine like you got post bridge and then it does that thing, and they do like imagine like a halftime breakdown on that one.
Yeah. That's what happens in What Happens After You off of Autumn. Like that happens and it's rad as hell.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That song could be better for sure.
It could be, but that's this album.
Lyrics are but it's catchy. Rivers writes hits, he writes catchy things.
That one is one that could have been shopped around for a different artist to record it, I think.
Totally. Yeah.
Anyways, the next track.
So I just want to say now, everything from here on out,
garbage.
Except for there's one redeeming quality in one song coming later. Other than that, I just do not care about the rest of this album.
So Piece of Cake is up next, which musically, the chord progression is really neat. I like kind of what's going on with piano. The chorus is really catchy. Lyrics and like performance wise, it's so dull. It's so dull. Also, this song, okay. Weezer was on an episode of The Simpsons in 2020, which like that joke writes itself.
Honestly, yeah.
Both of those things are way past their prime at that point. The actress who does Marge Simpson can't do the voice anymore. It's really sad.
Even the person who does Bart,
Weezer.
Even the Nancy Cartwright or whoever who does Bart,
she
is
goes
like,
around,
you can hear it.
She goes around to people like, "Hey man, I'm Bart Simpson." It's like kids who don't understand who Bart Simpson is anymore.
Cringy, dude. Marge. That'd be like if we like went around or like, we're the guys from Weezfest. Do you know that? Did you know that?
Marge, it's Weezfest.
Whatever. We're gonna on the last episode of The Simpsons. We're gonna be the guest.
It's gonna be us. They've gone through everyone else. We're like at the bottom of the totem pole.
The bottom of the fish barrel.
But yeah, so there was an episode in 2020 where Weezer was the guest, and they played this song, and then the end of Blue Dream, which had not been released yet. Like it was like a year before Van Weezer came out. It's just so silly. I like musically what's going on in Piece of Cake, though. Lyrics, I don't care. It's more of the same.
Yeah, more of the same.
Got anything to say, or should let's take a slice of that cake and eat it. Doo-doo, that's what this album sounds like.
I'll give you that.
The production on this is cool. Like, this sounds
cool.
I
mean, this is kind of like... I maybe, like, see, like, the third album of the... I see, like, the third version of the Black Album is, like, the audition for figuring out OK Human.
100%. That guitar riff is stolen.
Oh, really?
Stolen from Sober by Childish Gambino.
Well,
it is ripped directly out of there.
It's 4 notes. I don't know.
You're 4 notes. Hop on this trash.
You know what this song should have been?
Better?
Smoking Crack.
Smoking Crack from the Black Room.
Yeah, the Black Room album.
Give me the Black Room album.
Honestly, Songs from the Black Hole is what Black Album in my mind should have been. But we might be getting that, so.
Now I'm hanging out with a kitty cat named Arnie on my lap. Where'd he go?
He was here.
That was his one time he was supposed to be here. Catchy. I don't know. It's got a nice chill vibe. It's a different vibe for a Weezer song.
Yeah, for sure. Seems like maybe like a Pacific Daydream adjacent.
Yeah.
This feels more... What's funny to me is that this feels like more of a compilation album than Everything Will Be... Not Death to False Metal.
Death to False Metal and Red Album.
Yeah, and Red Album.
It feels more like throwing everything at the wall.
Yeah, or just like auditioning for something, later.
Best lyric on the album. Some more Sprite. What does it mean?
This is about a birthday party you went to as a kid.
You can actually make cake by using Sprite and cake mix. Maybe that's what this is about.
I remember that recipe from Paper Mario. You can only use 2 ingredients, and I used Sprite and cake mix, and I made a cake.
Sometimes we just want someone to cut us up and eat us up.
Yeah.
All these songs kind of just end, too.
Yeah, it's
I guess there's not
lazy.
really a way to... That one's fine. I'll listen to that, you know. I'll if you turn your brain off a little bit, it's nice and catchy and it's a good vibe. But
you know what else is catching a good vibe? That Matt Sharp's little horror album, and I would love to listen to that.
Colin, it's okay. We're halfway through.
We're on the back half.
This next song is a reworked Scott and Rivers song. I'm just being honest. I think the lyrics are actually kind of funny, but the way that they're delivered are so like deadpan. I'm kind of not sure what he was going for on this one, so it's like a weird vibe, but I think the song is nice and catchy.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this as I said, the back half of this album is just so forgettable for me that it's hard for me to remember until it starts.
Well, here we go. It sounds like stock music from your like commercial for your local credit union.
Yeah, I like that though.
You like that?
I like this. And now it's like, yeah.
I think this is not me making a joke. I think if this like was released in 2008, it'd have a really decent shot at being a radio hit.
I think that if this was released in 2008 by
the Killers,
the Caesars, you know, they would do so well.
There's a funny line coming up that I can make a joke about. I listened to it, but halfway through it, I wanted to quit. This album sounds like...
Oh!
Like, this is just your classic Weezer song with a little bit different flavor.
But like...
But why, right?
We were talking earlier about when I don't know songs and I'm playing live and I'm like trying to come up and I don't know what the chords are. I just wait for there to not be vocals and I play a little lick. Yeah. That's what's happening right now. That was a cool little production thing. They went, wow.
Yeah. It's just, it's so the opposite of what makes Weezer good that it's like, it's technically good, but it's jarring hearing this song. Because, like, you could hear this song with the big guitars, like, White Album production, and, like, that would make sense. So it's almost jarring hearing it like this, you know?
Totally.
And, like, the Scott and Rivers version is, like, it's a Weezer song.
That's interesting, yeah.
So
that's really interesting that like the with the parallels between this and White, because they had California Kids, which was also a Scott and Rivers song.
And then I Need Some of That was a Scott and Rivers song too.
Yeah. Oh.
Don't you mad at me?
It's just a lazy thing that I feel like to write about.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like that everyone dunks on the people who are just like, I'm just being honest.
It's just a prank, bro.
It's just a prank. It's every day, bro.
I mean, like, at least these lyrics have a cohesive narrative. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's because I'm Irish. Like the Irish cream we put in our coffee.
Drink responsibly. Don't drink if you're underage.
In 2019, why are you getting someone's phone number by having them write it down on a napkin?
Nostalgia.
There's really not a ton of dynamics on this album either. It's all kind of very, which I guess comes from just like the more electronic nature of it.
Just kind of ends.
Kind of
ends, and you just keep the reverb tail from your little pedal.
Yeah.
Your little hardware
that
reverb.
Song is fine.
Yeah. It, once again, like, lyrics are a little better than Living in LA. Mm-hmm. Still not much better.
Yeah.
But the production carries, I think, this album.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's technically produced very well. It's just not doing any favors to the song. I'd
Did
say.
what was the name of the guy who produced this?
Dave Satek from
Dave
TV
Satek.
on the
Did
Radio.
he work on them with any other projects after this?
He did not, but there
I
was
would be
like,
interested to see.
yeah, with like a good batch of
Yeah,
songs. I
yeah.
feel like, yeah, the production is not the problem,
Yeah.
and he is not the problem on this
No,
album.
absolutely.
It's 100% Rivers, honestly,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, his
which is weird to
bitterness at
say.
the time.
Because I feel like with most other bad ones, it's the other way around.
Oh yeah.
So it's interesting that like the production's almost making it, almost carrying it, which again is like going back to the lost versions of this. Like maybe it is really bad. Like maybe the lyrics and stuff are really bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Be interested
right.
to see if that ever pops up in the future. Dave Satek.
I'll let you know if it does.
Thanks, buddy.
Anytime. Colin, we only got 4 more. Can
That's
you
right.
make it through?
I can make it through the next 3, and the 4th one I don't hate.
Okay. Yeah, I'd agree with you there. Okay. This is Too Many Thoughts in My Head, which actually goes back to the pre-Green Album era when they were kind of experimenting with lots of different things. That's where the chorus of this comes from, and then they were reworking it around 2012. Didn't end up using it, and now
Okay.
it's on here.
I like the name of the track because it reminds me of the meme I saw the other day.
Yeah.
It says, for only having 2 brain cells floating around my head, I overthink a lot.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Put it
I
up
felt
there.
that. It was just like a text thing.
Put the text up there, and then have it say bottom text.
Bottom text right here.
Concrete. Got 'em.
Return of the King.
Return.
Put the concrete. This is me. Hey, me in the editing bay. How's it going? Are you having fun editing this one? Put a video of yourself answering that question. Hello, Colin from WeezfestCast. This is Colin from WeezfestCast. Editing is going good. I got the concrete dog pulled up. I just put that edit in there. It is currently 4:46 a.m. on the day this is supposed to release. We're going to see Weezer in like 11 hours, and I still haven't slept yet. But we're keep on. The Weez train never stops. And then edit. All right, so it's the concrete dog, but he's got a little king's crown on it. But he's also in Lord of the Rings, and it's the scene where all the hobbits are bowing to him, and then the dog is going, "You bow," but it's Weezer. It's the 4 hobbits, but it's Weezer, and it said, "You bow to no one."
Post that on the Instagram before this episode goes up, and just don't put anything underneath it. And the hashtag is just Return of the King.
It says, "Yeah, my friends, you bow to no one. You bow to concrete."
I don't want to listen to the rest of this album.
Yeah.
Colin. Do we have to?
We gotta make
okay.
it through. This sounds like a Caesar song. This sounds like a New York band.
the wah pedal.
I don't.
But
This is controversial. I don't like wah.
no, and especially like that, it's like
Yeah.
there's no subtlety to it.
No.
He never knew he had. Why do I know these lyrics?
I'm sorry for you. There was like a wave of bands from New York that sounded like this in like 20 years ago or something like that. And this, but like with a little more heavy handed with like guitars.
Yeah.
But like, it's just so weird to see Weezer be that late to the party.
That's the thing, is so much of this album, they're like a good 10 years late to
Yeah.
when it would have been cool.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like the lyrical melody.
Yeah. Like the chorus goes hard, but
Yeah.
and it becomes more of a major thing there. That's the part that was written in 1997.
I guess like that, in fairness, yeah, a lot of this was written, or the ideas were written 10, 20 years ago. So.
It really is kind of a compilation album.
Yeah.
I wonder if the wah wah was added after.
It's overdubbed.
Yeah, or like it's like a not an actual
Reamped?
pedal. Yeah. Because it sounds not how a person would do it, you know?
It'd be cool if they did a suspended thing there, like
Yeah. That'd require them to think about this for more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, Colin, I need you to do something at this part.
Oh yeah.
You know the meme of like He-Man singing?
Yeah.
Can you just put that picture up right here?
Yeah. Oh, you got it,
Too
buddy.
many thoughts in my head.
Not enough thoughts in this album, dude.
I'm sad that Pabst Blue Ribbon didn't like our really good meme.
I thought that was funny. I remember you sent that to me, and I was
Hey,
like,
look,
I
the
got
song's
you.
ending. Look,
Fucking
the song's
wah.
ending. They ran out of vocals.
They also forgot to stop the guitar. Just let it ring.
Brian, it's over. Stop.
Got it.
Oh my god.
That's a song.
I mean, at least the Teal album was funny. At least the Teal album was funny.
Yeah.
That's just sad. That's just sad.
Oh, dude, and it doesn't get better. That's the worst.
Okay, genuinely, can we just skip this song?
No.
God.
We have to listen to it.
Okay, so this is...
Can we just sit and stare in silence for this one? Pretend... Can we disassociate for this entire song?
Dude, what do you think I'm going to do this whole time?
I'm just... Yeah.
So, this song was written by Brian Bell.
Which...
But...
I love Brian Bell.
I love Brian Bell. They changed it significantly for the Black Album. I hope like we get to hear Brian's demo of this someday. It wasn't supposed to have this like, this is the Prince Who Wanted Everything. What a waste of that song title.
I absolutely agree. That's one of those songs where like when I was looking at the track list when I was listening to Black Album for like one of the first times, I was like, that is a potentially heavy like what's that Coldplay song?
The Scientist?
No, well that's one, but like this like
Viva La
I
Vida?
used to Viva La Vida.
Yeah.
And I was like it could have a very like feel like that. I was like if it had that kind of feel, you know, like it evokes that same kind of emotion.
Yeah.
You know.
No.
Like but just a swing and a friggin' miss.
It's so they added this really awkward swing feel to it. They added these terrible sounding guitars and like it sounds like no one was even on the same like session. You know, it was recorded in like different chunks and then they took pieces and put them together.
Oh, sure. Just
the
cut
lyrics,
and paste.
they changed them to make them about Prince, which is like pretty freaking tasteless
Yeah.
for how bad this song is
ucky.
and how like not influenced by Prince, Weezer. Like I'm
Yeah.
sure Rivers was influenced by Prince. Like a lot of
some
musicians
point,
are, but
yeah.
like it really feels tasteless.
It does.
And like Brian Bell was like, I don't want this version on the album. And
At least he had some foresight.
and they were like, nope, it's going on. People will love it. And I'm like, what does this have to do with the Black Album? Like with anything else on this album,
Nothing.
it's so out of place. It's so bad. Okay, you know what? I think this is the worst Weezer song. And after this, it's all uphill.
It
Everything's
is.
better
Honestly,
than this.
everything,
So-
yeah, it doesn't get lower than this.
All right, let's go. Another doo-doo part. Like the guitars are not as swung as the drums, so it doesn't.
I don't like this song.
He's the prince who wanted everything.
That's a riff.
I don't like Weezer anymore.
Yeah, why are the drums at like 87% swing and the guitars
Yeah.
at 67% swing?
Like that, those were straight A's. What are you doing?
Somebody
And
hit
no
the
one-
wrong button on quantize.
No one listened to this and said, could be reworked. Like,
Yeah.
if they signed off on this,
There's a version that exists that Brian Bell signed off on. You know, he hated this because they changed it so much.
this is the one that had Rivers Cuomo in interviews being like, people just want us to remake the Blue Album. We're not allowed to experiment.
You're not allowed to
they put this
experiment
out?
anymore.
Do. Sorry.
How are they gonna do Pat dirty like that? You ever have a set list for one of those like 2, 3, 4 hour shows you play,
I sure have.
and you're like, there's like a couple of these ones that we don't know so
They're
well.
stinkers.
Yeah,
We'll put them at the
We'll
end
put
and
'em-
maybe we'll...
right before the end, but we want because people be tired from listening for so long.
And then you get there and it's like, I
right.
actually have to play these.
Yeah, and then you end on your like stronger stuff.
Yeah, this is like, you've got like 40 minutes left of your 3-hour set. This is what you're doing.
Yeah, yup.
Oh, thank God.
Mom, I don't like Weezer no more.
Mom, come get me. I'm scared.
I'm scared.
That is the biggest piece of garbage, terrible.
Piece of fucking
The most, like, how do you ask people to spend money on that? Like, genuinely.
Disappointing.
It's
paying 99 cents on iTunes is too much for that.
That's the band that 3 albums before this wrote Endless Bummer, wrote Summer Lane and Drunk Dory.
Dude.
That's the band on one album after this.
That's the band that wrote Foolish
Alu
Father.
Gobi and yeah, like...
Yikes.
I don't think
this song made me want to crab at the booty.
Dude, okay, but if they busted that out in Madison next week, that would actually be kind of badass.
That would be pretty slick. If they busted out the Prince Who Wanted Everything, I'm leaving.
No, I'd be like, okay, this is a choice. This is cool. I'm here for it. I just like...
If they just start it and don't actually play it, I'd be fine with that.
The fact that they were doubling down on like this album being good and being like screw the fans who don't want us to experiment, and that's what it is. Like I was saying before, if the alternative is not as good as what you're pivoting away from, you're clearly doing something wrong.
Yeah.
That song should not exist.
I wonder if, because we were saying like it's third pass, label's probably pissed off that they spent so much money on it.
Yeah.
And like
they made their teal money, they made their Africa money.
They made their teal money, they made their Africa money. They did well on the White Album. Crush Records is probably like, okay, fine,
just put it out, move on to the next thing. For the love of God.
I wonder if like the label was like, no, dude, we've spent so much money on this, you're not scrapping it again or something like that.
Yeah, maybe. Actually, that's
yeah,
because
I mean, Brian Bill had issue with that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Maybe like they paid Dave Sitek a certain amount of money, and he like wanted to have his stuff on there. And
totally.
Who knows?
Contracts and stuff like that. Yeah.
The good thing is that we don't have to listen to that
song
anymore.
That's right. Oh, dude.
Yeah, bad song. Don't listen to it.
Yeah.
I think, like, frankly, you should be embarrassed, Weezer. You should be embarrassed about that song. It's not Brian Bell. Brian Bell has done nothing wrong.
Brian Bell is a sweet boy.
He's a sweet boy. Next song, Byzantine.
Which is a word I love.
Yeah. So this one was a co-write, Laura Jane Grace from Against Me.
Oh.
And they wrote it over text.
Interesting.
And the melody, I don't know when the melody is from, but the bridge of the song is from 1991 from a Pat and Rivers project called Buzz.
Like a
And it's like a super drony grunge, like almost like Soundgarden-y type thing.
You ever listen to the other band called Fuzz?
No.
There's another band called Fuzz.
Cool?
That's what's his name? I keep wanting to say Conan Moccasin, but it's not. It's put it in there. It's really good. They did a cover of 21st Century Schizoid Man, and it's
I think I've heard that.
Yeah.
I think I've heard that. Yeah.
That band is dope.
Cool. Yeah. Well, anyways, the bridge is pretty cool in this one. This song is fine to me. I think it does some neat things.
I don't like the high end in this song. It's too bright. I'm just looking at the low cut high pass on this one. It's all the way up here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Kind of a neat chord.
I mean, they're going for like an elevator vibe.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was like supposed to be like French pop 60s kind of. Ooh, ooh. Is that a Buddy Holly reference?
Should wear red berets at a WeezfestFest.
Raspberry berets. Sorry.
Yeah.
That was a Prince reference.
It's all good. It is the Prince Who Wanted Everything.
Ooh. If Prince heard that song, he would punch Rivers Cuomo in the face.
He would deck him.
Is that a make-believe reference?
I want to make believe this album doesn't exist.
Save that for the make-believe episode. Come on. That's okay. We'll redo it.
I'll rehash it.
No one has watched all the way to this point of this episode. We could say whatever we want.
Done. I don't like pizza.
I don't want pizza. That's my thing with the lyrics.
That's a reference to when they wore tracksuits for the Red Album tour.
Yeah. It's just like, it's more lyrics that are just random.
Yeah, I said scraping the bottom of the barrel. Sounds like fun.
Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you.
Bermuda.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't.
I actually don't. Could you clarify?
Could you clarify?
This is the part from the...
Oh, okay.
But it's like this with like a halftime like pat drum beat. It's pretty sick, actually. You've got Pat Wilson as your drummer.
And you
do him dirty like that.
You hit the fill 2 button on your Casio keyboard.
On your Yamaha, yeah.
DX7 or some goddamn
No, DX7 is actually good. I'm talking the ones that you find at St. Vincent's.
I have one.
You have a DX7?
No, I have like a octave and a half.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Not MIDI, just a Casio keyboard or Yamaha.
I like actually want to fall asleep right now.
I'll tuck you into bed.
Aw. Collins, you know you can get a Weezer Chia Pet?
We should get one for WeezFest too.
We should start growing it now, actually.
How long does it take? I thought it took like a month.
Oh. We gotta cultivate
We'll get
it.
Yeah. I don't want it to be too long.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a song that you could pitch to. Dang, dude.
Sorry.
Homeboy's blowing up. That's a song you could pitch
gigs
to an elevator company for sure.
Name one elevator company.
Badger.
The State Brewing Company?
I
was at Badger State. We had a meeting there the other day.
We did. I love Badger State.
They got good brews.
They got good brews. Good. The outside like beer garden is honestly rated in like my favorites of ever.
Yeah, you can bring your doggy.
I don't have a doggy.
You can bring Arnie.
Arnie's not my cat.
You can bring Hannah.
Your friend?
I did go there with her last summer.
No.
She was in town for a wedding that we went to. That was very nice.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
You know what's not sweet?
The Black Album. One more song. One more song.
We've come back around to like where I think the production is cool on this one. I think the synth sounds on this one are really good. Lyrical subject matter is C-, D+ at best.
This is another one where I'm like, what is it even about?
What? Yeah, exactly.
This song, California Snow, was released. Another one released ahead of the album, like as a standalone single for a movie called Spell. That I don't know if anyone watched.
I didn't.
Yeah. Also, this song would be such a good alarm clock because one, I already hate it. And two, it's so jarring and like, there's like, what was I gonna say
About California Snow? It's a reference to Carlos Champagne's 1965 album, Diamond Dusted Fingertips.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like so jarring though, and it's just like right off the bat, and it doesn't lead in from the other song. Like, weird song to have as the closer.
Yeah.
And like with the way it starts,
it doesn't follow the traditional like Weezers and like the last songs.
But like you'd think there'd be a build up to it from another one, like a transition. I don't know.
Sure, yeah.
Anyways, I don't hate the hook on this one, and I think it's actually kind of funny. It's one of those that if you don't take it seriously, it's actually kind of funny. Some of the stuff he's doing.
Yeah, just shut my brain off a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Can I get a woo?
Woo.
I want to take this and replace all the woos with the Crash Bandicoot. Wow, wow, wow. Somebody do that and give it to us, and then we'll sell it for $1 trillion, and we'll give you $45.
$45 hairs plus tax.
Be careful, because this is going to scare you when it starts.
Yeah.
Put a jump scare of a zombie bastard. Like, it just starts.
I know. I think it's fucking cool, though. I like how this sounds.
that.
But yeah, as you said, it should be like some sort of like fade in, like a vamped up reverb, reverse reverb kind of thing.
It genuinely has Death Grips vibes for a sec. Like, no joke.
Woo! Whoa!
Play guitar is sick. Whoa!
Rivers, you're not badass.
Best Rivers line ever right here. This is the definition of flow. Like, if they took the Weezer stuff off of here and just sold this as a track for somebody to rap over, it kind of goes hard.
Yeah, dude. Just maybe bass boost it a little bit.
I'm surprised they didn't do, like, some remix with... Have it California Snow Cardi B remix tied in. This melody...
We're falling apart. Couldn't have happened at a better time.
This melody is ripped directly from this pop song from this band called Carmen that came out in like 2013 called Acapella.
Oh.
It's like
I'll have to
straight
listen to
ripped
that.
off. Don't listen to it.
I'm gonna.
It's not
You
worth it.
can't tell me what to do.
You zombie bastard. I'm just bored already.
The arrangement
good
is
hook.
fun. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and this fits with the original description of the Black Album.
oh, sure, yeah.
Like this is what I expect from the Black Album.
This does not sound like a last track though.
No.
It sounds like maybe
Nothing
like
else
the
on
third
here,
or
genuinely.
fourth song. Make it third or fourth song. Put High as a Kite
Yeah.
at the end.
Should have ended with High as a Kite.
Well, actually, second to last song, High as a Kite. Last song, Princey wanted everything but reworked to be like an acoustic
Yeah.
masterpiece. I feel like I can hear the gate opening up on his voice.
I know. This chorus goes hard. Again, they ran out of vocals. At least there's guitar. Really terrible sounding
Dum,
guitar.
bum, 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 bum. And it just ends.
Whoa. All right.
Yeah, it's over.
Oh my God.
Guess what? It's over.
It's over.
It's over, all right? It's
No
over.
more.
It's over. We're
No more.
done. We're done.
No mas.
This album is trash.
It's so
okay?
bad.
Oh, here's the thing. If you want to listen to Weezer for pop mega superstar hits that have a bunch of synths and shit like that, I don't know. Go listen to fucking some of the cool on OK Human and the
There's
Seasons
no sense
albums.
on OK Human.
There's not, but there's like cool production.
There's-
and
yes.
There's like
Listen to
if you wanna
Seasons
listen, like-
Autumn.
Oh my God.
That's what this. That's the canon Black Album for me. Like that's the real Black Album.
That's the real true Black Album. Guess what? It was
We're
Green
done.
Album all along.
Whoa! Yeah, I had this whole.
we were
fan-
talking about this.
So
yeah.
I had this fan theory. I don't care enough about the Black Album anymore to talk about it, but not a fan theory. I had this thought, like Black Album was meant to be the antithesis of the White Album, right? It's meant to be more modern and more like pushing boundaries, experimental, that kind of thing. But I was thinking about it and I'm like, Black Album to like White Album is almost the flip-flop of Green Album to Pinkerton. Because Pinkerton goes big and goes for these much different things than the Blue Album did and goes a little too far, you know, some people might say. And it goes out there and it was kind of pushed away by some because of that. So what did they do for Green Album? They reined it back in. They went with classic Weezer, like tried and true formulas and really focused on that and made that album to try to win people back. White Album goes with the classic tried and true Weezer formula stuff that you know is going to make a great album. And Rivers was dissatisfied with that. So what does he do? He tries to go big. He tries to go in all these different directions. And it didn't pan out. I mean, I would consider this a failure of an album.
Yeah, I think that like the joke arose that it's like the evil version of the Green Album, and the more I think about it, the more it rings true. You know, like the no nonsense songwriting of a Green Album, where it's just like get in, get out. Maybe there's like a guitar solo,
And this
a
is
vocal
entirely
melody.
nonsense.
This is just like we don't know how to end it, so it just kind of ends.
You'll buy this. You'll buy this. It's a self-titled Weezer album. You'll pay for it. Also buy the other one that we put out this year.
Yeah,
You'll
dude,
buy
it was
both
a
of those,
bad
you
year.
idiot.
It was a bad year.
It was pre-COVID. Things were looking rough, and then like luckily just whatever they took some time to reflect because they had to, and like OK Human, they've really worked on it, and now with Seasons, it seems like after the Black Album, like and Van Weezer, which was just thrown together for the tour and like ended up being a fun album because of it. But like after those two albums, it really seems like Rivers is trying to write the best possible stuff he can. Whether it all hits or not is whatever. But like Seasons feels like OK Human felt like a huge swing, and I feel like that one really landed and got a lot of respect, which it 100% deserved. And Seasons feels like he's just going even further, and like it's almost like nobody's telling him no.
No, yeah.
It's just he's going for it and doing whatever he wants, and I feel like it's paying off.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's a couple of things that like follow. Like we were talking about the Broadway thing, the performance of that. But like, I don't think anyone really thought that was gonna like work out or
At
be
that price
amazing.
point, I mean,
Yeah.
no, I feel like a lot of bands couldn't do that.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's just God. The Black Album's such a disappointment. It leaves a sour
Yeah.
taste in my mouth. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
It's but it's, you know why it's gonna be okay, because we get to go see Weezer next week.
We're gonna go see Weezer. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
I haven't seen Weezer in a long time, pre-COVID.
I haven't seen Weezer.
You serious?
This is my first Weezer show. I'm really excited for it.
This will be my 4th time.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun.
I think Weezer always puts on an amazing show.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll probably do some little content from that. We're gonna be planning on capturing some content all day. So
Yeah. We're
looking
be
forward to
goofing
that.
off.
And then after that,
Just a couple of Weez freaks.
yeah. Stay tuned. I think we're gonna do some more. Hopefully, you guys liked our guest episode last time with M-Bond. We're planning on doing some more of those, and then we've got a fun way that we're gonna, because we're done with the color albums now.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a little ranking of those or something, a short little video.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I think yeah, we got some ideas on how we're going to get the way, like the order.
Yeah,
in which
we're coming
do
up
it.
with a fun way. We'll have that up at some point
Yeah.
pretty soon about the fun way that we're gonna pick how we're doing the rest of the albums.
Yeah.
I'm excited that we get to move on to some stuff I'm really
I
looking
know.
forward to doing.
As Red and White and Blue, fantastic albums. Green, great album. Like those 4 always are going to be like the color albums in my mind.
Yep.
It just like at the end there, definitely falling off a little bit. But man, some of like my favorite Weezer tracks are
Yes.
off of
Yeah.
non-titular like Weezer
It's going to be
albums.
really fun. And I feel like we're the 2 albums that I truly, truly despise, we're done with. So now it feels like smooth sailing for
There's
me.
only one that I'm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Everything else is pretty much smooth sailing.
thank you all
Thanks
for
coming
joining
to our pod.
us. Thanks for everyone who came out to WeezFest. Stay tuned for
Absolutely.
more.
Yeah,
from
we're
us.
excited to. We're already kind of talking about the next one.
It's going to be a big year.
So it's the
for
year of the
WeezFest.
Weez.
The year of the Weez. Colin, any last thoughts?
I've honestly, after the debacle of last week,
Yeah.
and like I just did not feel good about
Yeah.
that. But I'm really glad that
Yeah, we're sorry
I
this
feel like
is
we had
late.
a fun time with this one.
Yeah,
The first half of that album plus parts of California Snow are tolerable and like even somewhat enjoyable. But just that last 60% of the album, that's middle 60% of the album towards the end is just, I don't understand how you attach your name to that as a band.
I would love to know the full story. Again, like
Yeah.
what I was saying with like the 3 ones and stuff, that's my best approximation based on the information we have. There's probably details that I'm totally wrong about, but
Yeah.
I would love to know the full story of this album and how it came to be.
Be
I don't
interested.
think we ever will. Maybe when the demos come out, we'll
Yeah,
learn.
we can make some, guesstimates or something.
But yeah, anyways, thank God we're done with
We're
this
done.
piece of garbage album. God, I hate it so much. It's fine. Everything's fine.
We're done.
All right. Hasta luego.
Hasta luego and
Adios.
adios.
Beep, 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 beep.
Charlie, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, buddy. Oh, buddy. It's okay. You don't got it. We're gonna be listening to good music.